Hey guys, Ladarius Grimion, and back here with another video. Going to be answering the question from Cora again, and someone wants to know. Uh, someone, I'm doing this from my phone, so I can't see the question, but the question was basically this: they wanted to know what are some recommendations when it comes to saving money, because they're asking this because they usually have problems spending money on food and other stuff just to make them feel good at the time, basically. Something like this. So, what are some recommendations when it comes to saving money? How would you go about doing that so you have a better financial future? Okay, well, first thing you need to do is get disciplined into investing in yourself. And when I say investing in yourself, that means buying assets, buying things that will make money for you and that will work for you. You know, if you spend your life chasing money, money will never chase you. Like Warren Buffett has this quote where he says something like, if you spend your life working for money, you will never quit your job or something like that. And that's true. So what you want to be doing is trying to build assets. And the way you go about that, there's a lot of ways to go about that. But one of the easiest ways to go about that is to start investing. Every money from your paycheck, you know, put aside some money to start investing. And you want to try to do this every single day. And the reason why I recommend doing this over a paycheck is because not a paycheck, but over a savings account. The reason why I recommend doing this over than just putting it in a savings account is because, yeah, you're going to put your money in a savings account, but it's just going to sit there. It's not going to grow. It's not going to work for you. It's just money sitting there. And as inflation, when inflation occurs every year, your money just loses value, right? Because, money is constantly been the value of money is constantly going down. So you're actually losing money by putting it in a savings account. Now, you could put like maybe $2,000, $3,000, 10, if you have it like that. But I wouldn't focus on that. What you want to focus on is building assets. And I would say focus on putting your money in the asset column, because that is going to work for you. And your money's going to compound. It'll be working for you 24/7. Instead of you working for money, money works for you. Another thing I recommend doing is reading audiobooks, reading books in general. Like read Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Read Fake Money, Fake Teachers, Fake Assets. Also, both of those books come from Robert Kiyosaki. They're great reads. Start reading about financial freedom so that your mind, because as your mind, your mind will produce the things your mind is consuming. So if you consume financial information, your mind will produce that information. And you would be surprised how much subconsciously you will grow as a person and start to just pick up on these things. It'll be automatic. And you start learning and bettering yourself financially. Knowledge is power. That what you focus on will expand. This is why I say you have to focus on what you have to be careful what you focus on, because if you focus on anything, that will expand and your mind will start to consume that. Your mind will start to produce that, and you start to think about that. So it's good to have things circulating in your mind. It's good to be consuming quality information because your mind will produce that. All right, so you need to find a way to start educating yourself. I recommend reading a lot of the Robert Kiyosaki books because they're very good in teaching you how to build assets. I recommend reading those books because as you consume that information, you will produce that information in your mind and you will have better results. That's how this works. And just really shows you how to be careful, how you have to be careful what you listen to, what you think about, what conversations you entertain, because eventually those thoughts will they will continue to produce more thoughts. But anyway, don't want to get on a tangent there. So anyway, yeah, start building assets because savings accounts are for losers. Let's be straight. I mean, if you're trying to make your money work for you and you want to have money working for you while you sleep, you want to have real estate. You want to have assets, like property or assets that are businesses, things that are bringing in money for you consistently on a daily basis. It's like, and there's a way. I'm not just going to tell you this. I'm actually going to tell you how to do it. I may even put a link below. But there's a few investment companies you can get started with. There's E-Trade, for example. E-Trade is a popular, broker's account, basically. It's a broker, basically. A broker is basically like someone who allows you to invest in companies. They're like the middleman, basically. So you need to find a company where you can start investing with. And E-Trade is a good, popular company. They allow you to invest. And then there's other ones like Robinhood, for example. You can start looking at Robinhood. I don't really mess with Robinhood because I've heard a lot of bad things about it. Just too much control over the interface. But yeah, and you can use these. You can download these on your phone, set up an account, and literally start investing like literally today. If not today, because they may have to verify your account tomorrow or in like 3 days, all right? And what you do is, all right, you invest every single day. There's also a quote from someone. Someone says like, there's a saying out there, if discipline leads to freedom. And I'm telling you, if you invest every single day, even if it's $5, even if it's like, it could be $5, okay, 10, 20, it doesn't matter. You invest every single day, and if you're investing $20 a day, well, over the course of 30 days, that's, what is that? I don't know. But you get my point. It's like over the course of 30 days, over the course of a year, it's just going to compound, and you're going to build assets to the point where, you have money working for you, and your money is growing consistently. So you want to invest every single day, and what I recommend, find out how much your expenses are, how much you need to live off of every single day, right? And then right after that, you find out how much of that money you can use to buy assets. And that money is just free money. You put that money in the asset column every single day. So if you get a paycheck every week, find out what your expenses are for the month, right? And it's all about being consistency. To be consistent with this, but find out what your expenses are. And then once you find out what your expenses are, know how much money you have left over. And then what you start doing is you start investing every single day. So you find a stock, you find a company you really admire, and you become an owner in that company. You become a business owner, essentially, and your money works for you. And this is a good way to start saving money. It's an alternative way to putting your money in a savings account and just let it sit there. But you want to invest every single day, and as you are consistent over the course of a year, over the course of 2 years, eventually you have like 50 grand in the bank account, not a bank account, but in your investment in your investments, you have all this money saved up where like if you have an expense, you can just pull it out from your assets. If you get fired from work, you have your assets to fall back on and pour money out. You have money working for you and consistently every single day, 24/7. All right? So you want to start investing and creating good habits and start doing that every single day. I'm not joking. Every single day. Like you could just say, well, what if I just wait until my paycheck and just invest once? You could, but you want to make this a habit. So if you can, try to take a little bit of money, and invest every single day over the course of a year. And it puts you in the right mindset to have an investor mentality. And that discipline will lead to freedom. That discipline will lead to more success. that discipline will lead to, you having more control over your financial life. Now, there's arguments against this. There's like, well, what if you lose all your money? It's risky. Okay, sure. Have a little money in your savings account. But I'm telling you, you don't want to put all your money, all your hard-earned money in your savings account. Have a little bit of money so if something happens, you'll be able to pay your taxes and all of this, or some type of life expense that occurs. Have a little money in the savings account. Sure, 2,000, maybe 10 grand, right? But for the most part, you want to focus on building assets. And assets are things like real estate, things like investments, things like businesses, things that work for you and you don't work for them. And when you start doing this, money doesn't serve, you don't serve money, money serves you. You don't work for money, money works for you at this point. And just by being consistent and being disciplined and doing this, you can have money working for you. And as far as like people saying, well, what if the company goes bankrupt and then you lose all your money? Most companies, especially companies that have been around for a long time, they're not going anywhere. Walmart isn't going anywhere. Amazon isn't going anywhere. Facebook isn't going anywhere. Most of these companies are not going to go to zero overnight. It's like that's just not reality. Like, so if you had your bets and you're smart about this, you should be smart about this and be able to realize that, yeah, I might lose a little bit of money, but it's not going to go to zero. All that has happened before will happen again. There's this saying, it's like a law of time. What has happened in the past will happen again. So if something goes up, if something goes up once, it will go up again. If something goes down once, it will go down again. It's like gravity. You throw a ball up, eventually it's going to come back down, but you can choose to throw it back up again. Investments are like that. They usually don't stay down. They keep growing, most companies. Especially if you pick ones that have been around for a long time, right? So there's that. So like that whole argument, I'm going to lose all my money. I've been investing for about 2 years and I've basically left my investments alone, and I haven't lost all my money. I've actually gained a ton of money from doing this. So yeah, it's like, start doing this because seriously, it works. And don't let people talk you out of this, because people try to give advice about investing in business. And it's like, have you even done this stuff yourself? You hadn't even done this and you're trying to give me advice, and then you're potentially being offended that I won't take your advice. When people do this triggers me so much. It pisses me off how people have so much opinions about things and they never even done it. It's like, if you haven't done something, shut up. Stop giving your opinion all the time. Like, if you haven't put in the work to actually know what works. So I'm telling you, I put in the work and I know that this works. And am I giving investment advice? Yeah, I basically am. So you can take my word for it. Don't be an idiot, right? But put your money in assets. Because you're not putting your money in assets, the bank is just lending out your money 10 times over. Robert Kiyosaki talks about that. And start looking at crypto, because crypto is like, cryptocurrencies are like decentralized currencies. And I'm really big in crypto because I think over the next 10 years, I think that'd be huge. For example, there's a lot of crypto. Look at Bitcoin, for example. You got in at Bitcoin, you'd be a millionaire. Bitcoin's at I think it's like 30 grand right now. At one point it was like 60 grand or something like that. But look, these coins are like seriously going up. So you want to get in on this. And not just, cryptocurrencies, but just investing in assets. Like, you have credit, start like, for example, you don't have any money. Instead of like buying all these liabilities with credit and, taking somebody else's money and buying expenses, take out that money, get a personal loan of like $5,000, maybe $25,000. Take that money, put it in some investments, and let it grow over the years. Pay back a little bit back every month from like your job or work, business, whatever. And then, over the course of a year, watch your investments grow. And then that $25,000 investment, or that $5,000 investment turns into like $50,000, you know, over the course of a year or 2 years. You know, that just makes sense over than going with a savings account. So like, yeah, I mean, I just think it's better to buy assets today. Having a savings account in the bank account really doesn't serve me. It doesn't serve anyone. It serves the bank because they can lend your money out. They actually are borrowing your money when you put your money in the savings account. So yeah, that's basically what I have to say. Start buying assets. You know, heck, if you can get into real estate, start doing that. Start buying property. That's going to create wealth for years and years and years to come. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't know about these opportunities, again, I told you guys some good companies to start with. E-Trade, you're right, that's good for investment. And then Coinbase is good for like cryptocurrencies. Those two platforms, you literally can start today. There's no reason not to start. You don't know how to set up an account, go on YouTube, find out how to do this stuff. It's very easy. The only reason why people don't do this is because they're just afraid to do things they haven't done before, and they're ignorant. You want to be less ignorant, then you need to educate yourself. Start reading books, get an audio account, get an Audible account, and just start listening to financial books. I'm doing that right now. I got earphones on and I'm listening to audiobooks. Listening to Russell Brunson, what is it? Traffic Secrets or something. So, yeah, Traffic Secrets, I think. So, like, yeah, you know, it's start doing that, start educating yourself, and start consuming this information so that your mind can produce this information. So consume this information so you can produce this information, because knowledge is power. Knowledge is power, and power is value. So the more knowledge you have, the more power you have, the more value you have, the more leverage you have in society, and vice versa. The more money you have, the more power you have, the more chance you have access to knowledge. Okay, so figure that out, and hopefully this answers your question. You need to start investing every single day. Every day you should be winning, every day, even if it's just a little bit. You know, we try to climb the stairs like, you know, 3 steps at a time. It's not about climbing the stairs 3 steps at a time. It's about taking 1 step every single day. So if you invest $30, just $30 every day into a company, imagine what that looks like over the course of a year. And then that's not even counting the growth of the company and the growth of the stocks. You know, what happens when that company grows? You make tons of money instead of putting it in a savings account and letting it sit there and the banks are just going to take your money anyway. So hopefully that answers your question. Start buying assets. Learn how to do business. Learn about entrepreneurship. You know, if you want more financial freedom, maybe you don't want financial freedom. Maybe you want to work at a job. But I would say most people want financial freedom. So if you want that, do this. Like, seriously, it just makes sense. And if you guys like this kind of stuff, be sure to share the video, subscribe, like, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I will see you guys later. Take care.